So you've shared some fascinating material delving into the Xinyiquan tradition, and it focuses on this idea of internal power, specifically around, well, something called the Dantian.
That's right. It's a core concept.
Okay, let's try and unpack this. It sounds pretty intriguing.
Yeah.
Our sources, they kick off by asking, what is inner strength of mind?
Hmm.
And right away, they point to focusing the mind on this Dantian area. They even mention how tricky it is to control what they call a wild mind.
Yeah, and what's really interesting, I think, is how they immediately link that mental discipline with the physical practice. It's not separate.
Right.
It's not just about, sitting still
Mm.
somewhere. It's about cultivating focus while you're moving. It's kind of like mindfulness maybe, but woven right into the movements from the start.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting for me. It's not about being perfectly static, is it?
No, not at all.
It's about finding this unique kind of mental focus while you're actually doing the Xinyiquan movements. The source says seeking stillness within movement is how you cultivate this Dantian Qi.
Exact.
It almost sounds contradictory, doesn't it? Stillness and motion.
It does, yeah, and that's kind of the point, I think. The practice is described as transformative. The source says something like, training that transforms form with mind, refines mind with form, and guides Qi with mind.
Wow, okay.
So the idea is, through this sort of integrated approach,
Mm-hmm.
mind-shaping movement, movement refining mind, you build up what they call sufficient essence, Qi, and spirit.
Essence, Qi, and spirit, right? Traditional concept.
Foundational energies, basically. Essence is like your core vitality, Qi is the energy flow, and spirit is, well, your mental energy, your vitality there. And by cultivating all of these,
Mm-hmm.
the goal is faster movement, better martial arts ability. It's really holistic.
Okay, that makes sense. It connects the inner work to outer results, which naturally brings us to the next big question. What is this Dantian? And you figure out pretty fast, looking at the sources, there's no single simple answer. They talk about multiple locations, upper, middle, and lower Dantian.
That's true. And you see the idea of energy centers in, well, lots of different traditions, right?
Mm.
The Dantian is definitely key in many Chinese practices, but how they pinpoint it can vary.
Yeah, exactly. Like for the upper Dantian, they mention the Bai Hui point on top of the head,
Hmm.
or between the eyebrows, even the philtrum, that little groove under the nose.
Yeah.
And the middle one, Tanzong in the chest, the navel area, Shank, they call it, with the navel being the front point, and Yangguan Mingmen on the spine being the back.
Right. Front and back alignment.
But it seems for Xinyiquan specifically, the main focus is the lower Dantian.
That's the key area for them, yes.
Though even there, the descriptions aren't identical. Points below the navel, down near the perineum, even the Yangquan point on the sole of the foot gets a mention. So, yeah, definitely not one tiny spot everyone points to.
That's a really sharp observation.
But-
And while, yeah, various points get mentioned, if you connect it to the bigger picture of energy centers, that lower abdomen area,
Mm-hmm.
it comes up again and again.
Ah, okay.
Often seen as this fundamental energy storehouse.
Mm.
Stability, power, your root, essentially. And in Qihai, they seem to really zero in on the Qihai acupoint, which is a couple inches below the navel. That's the spot for building that foundational energy.
And they certainly stress how important it is. There's this pretty bold quote in the material. Practice Dantian Hunyuan Qi, and you will be invincible wherever you go in the world.
Huh. Yeah, that definitely gets your attention.
Invincible. That's quite a claim. Makes you really wonder, okay, what does this practice actually look like?
It absolutely does. How do you do it? Luckily, the sources you found give a pretty detailed breakdown. 9 steps, actually.
9 steps.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into them. Step 1 is called Embrace Dantian. It talks about posture, mental state. It says do it in the morning, fresh air, stand with feet shoulder width, knees bent a bit. You hold your hands gently in front of your lower belly like you're holding a ball.
Mm-hmm. Cradling it.
And the mental state is described really poetically. Neither standing nor sitting, neither smiling nor smiling. Mind focused gently on the Dantian, breathing quiet, natural.
And notice, right away, it's both physical posture and internal focus. That neither standing nor sitting sounds like maybe relaxed readiness.
Yeah, poised, maybe.
And the gentle focus starts connecting you to the Dantian. Silent breathing helps turn awareness inward, not outward effort.
Makes sense. Okay, step 2, turn Dantian.
Okay.
Still standing, shoulder width apart. Focus the mind on the Dantian again, but now you actively use your mind to guide the Qi in circles.
Ah, so more active now.
Yeah. 36 circles left to right, coordinating with breath, then swallow. Then 36 circles right to left, same thing, breath and swallow.
Interesting. So now it's directed intention plus movement, internally at least.
Yeah.
Not just passive focus. You're guiding it, syncing with breath and swallowing. That often comes up in these practices, believed to connect energy pathways.
Huh.
So these circles probably meant to start, waking up and gathering energy there.
Activating it. Okay, step 3 is shake the Dantian.
Shake it. Okay.
You step your left foot forward, shoulder width again, relax the whole body. Then you start moving your waist in a circle, keeping your mind on the Dantian as the center of that movement.
So a physical rotation now, centered on the Dantian.
Exactly. And the breathing is specific. Inhale for the left half circle, tongue touches the roof of your mouth. Exhale for the right half, tongue on the lower palate. It also mentions this works the meridian, like a belt around the waist.
Ah, yes, the meridian or belt vessel. That's significant. It's thought to kind of regulate energy flow around the whole torso. So this isn't just hitting the Dantian spot. It's engaging that whole horizontal energy band. And the tongue positions. Classic key guidance techniques. Gotcha. Okay, number 4, rub Dantian.
Seems straightforward.
Back to a standing stance. Hands go symmetrically on either side of the lower abdomen over the Dantian. Then you rub left to right circles. Inhale with tongue up, exhale with tongue down, 36 times or so.
So direct physical stimulation this time, probably trying to generate some warmth, maybe a feeling of energy building up there. The breath and tongue stuff keeps reinforcing that mind-body link, the intention.
Right. Makes sense. Step 5, hit Dantian. This sounds a bit more active.
Hit it. Wait, how does that work?
Left foot steps forward, half a step. Arms swing back like wings spreading while you inhale, tongue up.
Okay.
Then left foot comes back parallel, hands change from palms to fists, and you strike both sides of your Dantian area while exhaling, tongue till lower gums. Repeat 36 times.
Striking it. Percussion. Maybe to like jolt the chi, break up stagnation, the expanding inhale and then contracting strike on the exhale. That sounds like it would create a real dynamic energy flow.
Yeah, definitely dynamic. Okay, number 6, fold Dantian. This one's got some interesting imagery. Fold it. Let's hear it.
It involves light stepping, palms extend towards your opposite cheeks, then you cross your palms and sort of rush forward, and it says, knocking your head as you rush.
Knocking your head.
Yeah, exhaling as you do it. The text literally says, knocking your head to the monument. Pretty vivid. Then you inhale as you stand back up, compressing the abdomen, filling the Dantian. Very unique movement description.
Wow, yeah, knocking your head to the monument.
Yeah.
That is vivid. So the rush forward, the exhale, the compression, seems designed to really forcefully push Qi down towards the Dantian. Then the inhale standing up is like the rebound, letting it fill, a more forceful way to build that internal pressure, maybe.
Seems like it. Okay, step 7 is another rub Dantian, but seated this time.
Ah, variation. Good.
Sit on a stool, one leg slightly forward, alternate which one. You rub your palms diagonally across the lower belly. Exhale, rubbing forward and down. Inhale, pulling back. Focus on chi flow through the Dantian, 36 times each side. Shows it's not just standing practice.
Exactly. Seated practice can offer a different feel, right? Maybe more internal focus without needing as much balance or big movement. And the diagonal rubbing probably hits different energy pathways around there.
Okay, number 8. Spray on Dantian.
Spray. Okay, this is getting creative.
Stand feet together, raise palms to chest, cross them right over left, palms up, inhale, then bam, sudden forward push with the palms, like baby eating, it says.
Baby eating.
Yeah. While shouting, drink, and exhaling forcefully. 36 times. Sounds pretty explosive.
It really does. That sudden push, the shout.
Yeah.
Maybe it's meant to like project the chi out and then snap it back, really energize the area. That imagery and sound, very visceral.
Totally. Okay, last one, step 9, lift Dantian.
Lifting it now. All right, stand at attention. Raise hands overhead, specific position. Right hand leads, palm left palm on the base of the right palm. Rise up on your toes as you do this, inhaling.
Okay, gathering upwards. Then pull the hands down forcefully in front, like you're grabbing a big heavy handle and pulling it down. Elbows drop towards the chest. Forceful exhale. 36 times. Big emphasis on that strong breath, agitating the Dantian Qi. Building, it says, a rich source of strength, round force, and endless power.
Wow. Okay, that sounds like a real power building move. Integrating the whole body, lifting, gathering, then that forceful downward pull with the breath to really like charge the Dantian. That heavy handle image is strong. And round force, endless power suggests something deep, right? Not just muscle.
Definitely. So after going through all that, what are the supposed effects of Dantian Gong? What happens?
Well, the source mentions initial feelings like warmth in the Dantian area,
Good heat sensation.
or maybe a feeling of Qi rising up inside.
Right.
Tangible signs that the internal energy is starting to gather, basically.
Got it. Early feedback.
And then, expanding on that, it describes how this Dantian Qi is meant to flow through the body's energy network, the meridians.
Ah, the meridian system.
Right. It talks about Qi going down to the perineum, then up the back, along the governor vessel, past the tailbone spine, up to the Baihui point on the head.
Okay, up the back.
Then down the front along the Ren vessel, eventually returning to the Dantian, completing a circuit.
The microcosmic orbit, some call it.
Exactly, that's often the term used. Feeling that circulation along the Ren and governor vessels is seen as a big step. And eventually, the goal is for Qi and blood to flow smoothly through all the meridians, leading to, vitality, energy, health.
Okay, so improved energy flow, better health. But it doesn't stop there, does it?
No, apparently not. The source mentions more advanced stages. Quite remarkable claims, actually.
Like what?
Like developing abilities beyond normal senses. Seeing without using your eyes, hearing without your ears.
Whoa, serious?
Perceiving tiny objects or super faint sounds, that kind of thing.
Okay, that's pretty profound. So it's not just about physical strength or fighting skill then. It's presented as something that could sharpen all your senses incredibly.
That's what's suggested, yeah. It points towards developing a really heightened awareness, maybe a sensitivity to subtle energies or information, way beyond the ordinary.
Wow. And yet the source also brings it back to something quite practical, doesn't it? The ultimate goal.
Right. It connects back to being able to win a battle.
So the internal cultivation is meant to directly translate into real-world martial effectiveness.
Precisely. That internal power, the Dantian Gong, is intended to show up as superior skill, the ability to handle opponents because of this deep internal strength.
Okay, so just to kind of wrap up what we've dug into here, we looked at this whole concept of inner strength in Xinyiquan Luoquan, really zeroing in on the Dantian.
Central idea for them.
Yeah, absolutely central. We saw it's not just one pinpoint location, there are various ideas, but Xinyiquan seems to focus heavily on that lower abdomen area.
The Qihai point specifically.
Right, and we walked through the pretty intense 9-step practice they lay out for cultivating this Dantian power, and talked about the kinds of effects they claim come from it, from warmth to, well, extraordinary perception.
And it's clear they see the Dantian as this fundamental energy battery, basically. Charging it up isn't just for fighting, but for overall health, vitality, and maybe even unlocking these heightened senses.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? All this focus on mindful movement, internal energy, the potential for sharpened senses. How might even, a little bit of this kind of Dantian focus change how we think about strength or awareness? It's definitely a different perspective.
Absolutely. A very integrated view.
So if any of this has sparked some interest for our listeners, maybe look into Xinyiquan or other internal arts. There's a lot out there.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into these fascinating sources.
My pleasure. Always interesting stuff.